It's mid-August, and despite a period of particularly unsettled weather, all of the winter barley and some of the spring barley has been combined. But the barley has been halted to start the oats today, which are now fit. The header was removed from the John Deere 1075 combine to travel down the narrow road to this outlying field, which is about a mile away. All of the connections for the quick attach header are on the left-hand side, and it doesn't take long to get it back on the combine again. Whilst Tony makes a start on the headland, Thomas checks for sieve losses under the straw swathe. Halfway around the second pass of the headlands, and after emptying a couple of tank loads, the trailer is fairly full. So Thomas heads back to the farm with the 6400. Meanwhile, Tony carries on combining. Although the bulk of the crop is fit, there is still a bit of green in the tram lines. However, oats are liable to shed in high winds or rain when overripe, so it's best to catch them now. The majority of this field is standing well, with a good even feed into the header. Back at the farm, the oats are being blown into a shed with the Gehl blower. With no other tractors available, a Fordson E27N Major with a 45 horsepower Perkins P6 engine is providing the power. Now semi-retired, until recently the Fordson was used to blow all of the corn into the bins, as Tony explains.
She's 1948 Fordson E27N. When she was new, she was sold down at Stanton in Suffolk, and she had the 4-cylinder paraffin side valve engine in then. And being that was quite strong old land down there, I suppose she wasn't quite powerful enough, so they decided to put a P6 in. So in 1952, they took the Fordson engine out and put the Perkins P6 in. She's got the proper Perkins conversion. She only just got the one hole in the tank instead of the two. So it's just a diesel. And of course, radiator had to be different. All the cannons on the front. She's got a six blade fan on as well. Keep her cool because she get a bit hot. I've had her since 1978. That's when I bought it. And that was a heap of junk when I bought it. She was beggared up completely basically, and running on fire and all these sort of things, done all sorts of silly things. But anyway, over the years, of course, I set about the engine because we needed her for blowing the corn in the big crop stores, and so I managed to get hold of a set of pistons for her and one thing and another. And because when I took it to bits, there was only about 1 or 2 rings left on the pistons. So how the heck the thing was running, I don't know, but that was being a Perkins. So anyway, I put a new set of cast iron pistons in her at that time, and had old head reground when put back together, and she went all right for several years. But unfortunately, she'd been frozen at some time or another in her life, and the old block was cracked badly. And in the end, that got so I was having a bit of a job, keep water in her. She was using more water was coming out in different places, and when you took the oil cap off, there'd be loads of steam coming out there as well. So she was definitely burning water, and plus she, blowing corn in there was a bit hard for her. That used to pull the smoke out of her a bit. So anyway, eventually a friend of mine, I managed to buy another block, which we got here, second-hand block out of an Alice combine, which again had got a small crack in it, but nowhere near so bad as the other one. So set about doing that up, had some new liners pulled in her, and I put a set of aluminium pistons in her the next time with new rings on them. Had head reground, pump done, injectors done, valves all ground in. Basically, it's brand new engine now, brand new engine. Had the crank reground as well. We've got 70 psi oil pressure now to tick over. Which I had about 10 psi flat out before, so she was losing a bit of oil out there as well. But anyway, actually, it's a brand new engine now, so she can do the business. So she's sort of got all the bells and whistles on this old girl. She got the headlights on, and she's got PTO as well, power take off, and hydraulics, of course, the old Smith's lift hydraulics as well. So yeah, she's got all the bits and pieces on. I had to find one of those air cleaners for her as well, because I stuck an ordinary air cleaner on it instead of the proper P6 one, so she get a bit more air in. Yeah, I suppose over the years she's blown, she must have had over 20 years on the blower, blowing corn into the bath ups there. But I retired 5 or 6 years ago because we bought another tractor, so we use a 2040 on it now mostly. But today we need the 2040 on the straw turner, so she's come out today to do a bit of blowing on the oats here for us.
Blowing into the shed demands much less power than into the bins, and it's easily within the P6's capabilities with only low engine revs needed. Meanwhile, back at the field, Tony has filled up the Bunning dump trailer behind the 3140, so Thomas takes that back for emptying. Although the actual oats are relatively easy to thresh out of their husks, there is a much greater volume of crop going through the combine when compared to cutting barley, with copious straw and chaff to be dealt with.